The Pokrovsk area has long been a flashpoint in the war. This area is not just a stretch of land, but a vital route for logistics, communications, and troop mobility. Russia is desperately trying to defend it, while Ukraine is pressing forward with a precision attack strategy. In the ever-changing battlefield, FPV drones have emerged as the ultimate weapon. While once dominated by heavy artillery, these small but deadly UAVs are now the backbone of offensive operations. Any unit moving in open areas, whether tanks, armored vehicles, or even motorcyclists, can never feel safe. The skies over Pokrovsk that afternoon looked ordinary. Battlefield dust swirled, explosions could be heard in the distance, and the front line throbbed with tension. But beneath the momentary silence, something was moving swiftly, almost invisible, a low-flying FPV drone piloted by the trained hands of Ukrainian soldiers from the Phoenix Border Guard unit. Below, a Russian motorcyclist attempted to escape, his engine roaring, navigating the winding dirt roads of the conflict zone's interior. He knew danger lurked from every direction, but he didn't realize that his death was already sealed from the skies. The Phoenix unit, operating in this sector, is renowned as a specialist in drone strikes, writing a new chapter in the history of modern warfare with discipline, accuracy, and adaptability. The released video shows a vivid moment as a Russian motorcyclist attempts to leave the contact zone. Dust billowing from his tires, he ducks, trying to accelerate. From his vantage point, there might be a glimmer of escape, but the drone's camera coldly pans over him, and the Phoenix operator adjusts his angle, maintains stability, and ensures a perfect target lock. Every second becomes a dance of life and death, one that the motorcyclist is unaware of being watched from above. From aloft, "Target locked" is the terse command heard over the Phoenix unit's internal radio, leaving no room for hesitation. The FPV drone, armed with a miniature explosive warhead, dives into the roar of the motorcycle's terrified engine. Within seconds, the drone strikes, the camera capturing the moment the explosion shatters the silence. Flames, smoke, and metal fragments mingle with bodies thrown from the motorcycle. The rider is brought to a halt in an instant, his motorcycle a wreck, and the road that had once offered hope of escape has now become a graveyard. Cheers of victory rang out from the small Phoenix command post. For them, this wasn't just the elimination of an enemy, but a powerful message. Anyone attempting to flee wouldn't escape the watchful eyes of Ukrainian spies. This event affirmed Ukraine's micro-air dominance. Russia may have fighter jets and helicopters, but at the tactical level, the skies were dominated by Ukrainian FPV drones, boosting the confidence of Ukrainian soldiers on the front lines. Videos of the destruction spread quickly on social media, saying, "Every motorcycle, every vehicle, every invader, no one will escape." Intelligence reports, meanwhile, indicated that Russian forces were increasingly reluctant to use light vehicles on the front lines. Fear of drones hampered their mobility, creating a domino effect, slowing supply movements, disrupting troop rotations, and weakening offensive strategies. The Phoenix unit was more than just a name. They were considered the low-altitude guardians of the Ukrainian army. In the past few weeks, Phoenix had destroyed 2 motorcycles, 1 killed, 1 wounded, and a quad bike with 2 passengers, 1 killed. The story of the Russian motorcyclist who was crushed on the way to Pokrovsk is more than just war news. It is a portrait of a new era of warfare, where every crevice, every alley, and every dirt road can become a deadly path if detected by drones. The Phoenix unit once again proved that fate does not favor the invaders. From the silent skies, they rained down precision lightning, ensuring that every step the enemy took was costly. And for the motorcyclist, the road that was supposed to take him home turned into his final one, a road to destruction. For most of this horrendous war of Russian aggression against Ukraine, the tagline most useful for influencing Western governments against misinformation was, "Ukraine can win." Although Western media has not caught on, some Western analysts can see it. Ukraine not only can win, but she is winning. When Russia still threatens Pokrovsk, is still advancing in Donbass, and still has so many resources, that because those are not the correct metrics to use in a war of colonial aggression, the theoretical assets of the Russian Federation cannot be brought to bear due to the brilliance of Ukrainian strategy, and Ukraine is now able to deploy the strategy that it has wanted to use since the beginning of the war, but was restrained by the cowardice of the United States. This is a strategy of strategic bombardment of the means of Russian war-making, whether financial or logistical. Bombing defense industrial facilities, command posts, rail junctions, air defenses, and petrochemical infrastructure is weakening Russia and the Putin regime much faster than Russia is advancing in Donbass. Ukraine is manufacturing missiles, drones, and glide bombs faster than Russia is, and they are also getting increasing amounts from the West without limitation on their use. This single reversal of U.S. policy is perhaps the only positive thing that the Trump administration has done to help Ukraine, but it is a game changer in a way that tanks, IFVs, and fighters have not been. They might have been in the right quantity at the right point in the war, but alas, and Ukraine is not aiming their missiles and drones at apartment buildings like the Russians are. Post! Ukraine is fighting a moral war and not targeting civilians. Every drone or missile or bomb is targeting a legitimate troop formation, command post, weapon storage facility, or piece of the logistics chain. The amazing thing is that it is working. Inflation is killing the Russian economy. Regions of the country cannot get gasoline. Railroads cannot get food, water, and ammunition to the front line. Generals and colonels are dying in their posts. We have seen the increase of refinery fires in recent months. This is not going to stop.